welcome back to another episode of the Variant Cast. I'm here with the only man that has slept in the same bed as both Zack Snyder and James Gunn. How you doing, Trent? And is the trauma still there?
The trauma from both of them is still there, but I think that we both know which one hurt harder.
No. We'll go ahead and drop it there.
But thank God we don't have monetization on this channel because video instantly demonetized.
Yeah, I mean we don't have monetized on this channel because we don't have 500 subscribers. If we're being honest, but whatever. That's besides the point. Go ahead and subscribe. It would make me feel good. Anyways, as we go through this today, we're going to be going through the upcoming superhero projects. We're going to be going through both the MCU and DCU. We're not going to be going through any like sequels or like seasons of things. These are just new projects for the most part. There's one of those that's kind of questionable, but I'm counting it as a new entry. So there's 14 that we determined are going to be coming out in the next couple years. We're going to run through those. As well as we have a trailer to get through for one of the movies that's going to be on this list. So we'll go ahead and do that first. We're going to go ahead and kind of talk through the trailer that just dropped for Captain America, Brave New World. We got it up here, so if you are a YouTube viewer, you can see the trailer along with us. If you're not a YouTube viewer, we're going to be talking through the whole thing, and it's only about 1:40, so I'm sure you will survive. And thank you for listening audio. I appreciate that. But let's go ahead and give it a penguin.
Wilson.
So, as I'm sure most
thanks for coming in.
Thank you for the invite, sir. What this movie
I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look. They said lose the mustache, lose the election.
Yep, he's
you and I,
the president.
I haven't always agreed in the past.
Also,
but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position. And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens? Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Military dude is going to be the next doctor. Saw him suit up this movie.
Yeah, I think
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn. You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
White House down.
Oh, did they show it there? I'll go back here. They showed. Ooh, did that look terrible? I don't know. It's hard to tell if that looked terrible or not because it's only like a half second.
The flying shot?
The Red Hulk?
Oh, the Red Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that.
The thing is I don't think that you could give him the Mark Ruffalo treatment, right? Like you can't have him put on a bunch of like cameras and motion tracking stuff to have him be able to move around freely like Mark Ruffalo does and move around like the Hulk. So we could be seeing like a fully CGI Hulk, which is fine if they pull it off correctly. But from that shot in the trailer, it could go either way. I do like the poster that they released of the Red Hulk fist holding the shield. I like that. But yeah.
I'm looking at like it's just a 1080p like web thing, so I'm not judging it too greatly. I will say something that might concern me is just like the thing with the Hulk is he's green and he's like a dark green. And I think the things that look best with the Hulk is when you can kind of see the sweat and you can kind of see I don't know, it looks a bit more real in that sense. Like the shade of red that it is definitely going to make that harder to like convey and see. So they're either going to have to do some shots or they're going to just say like ignore it. But I do like where this scene is. There's some, it looks like it's in a park in the middle of the day. Like I like me some Hulk in a park in the middle of the day. That looks like it should be a fun sequence. I like the idea of it being an old guy that is turning into the Hulk. There's something interesting to that. An old man that probably has no business doing any of this. So that's fun. What I was saying when I asked, like, oh, did they just show it? Was they do show him flying with the other Falcon, which we all knew.
That and they show the Eternal that was coming out of the Earth in Eternals. So they're flying past that in the last shot of the trailer.
I feel like that was not going to be in this movie. I feel like that's definitely like fan.
They got memed
influence.
into being put into the movie.
Yeah,
people keep asking. They're like, oh, but how long is they're going to go without acknowledging the Eternal?
And it was a few years. That was the answer. So
yeah, which in universe is probably like a month.
I think I'm more interested in this movie after this trailer. I didn't watch anything, so I didn't know what what they were trying to do. This definitely looks like they're trying to do like more Winter Soldier-esque stuff, which I don't know if that's going to end up being a good thing or it's going to just end up being a little cringy. At the very least, I just lost my entire train of thought. We have this re-uploaded trailer on our channel. Feel free to watch that if you want to see the trailer without our faces. But the very first comment was just like blatant racism, just like right off the bat.
I can't believe we live in a world where we have a black Captain America.
Yeah, it just didn't even try to hide it. Just sad world we live in. Black Captain America. Crazy stuff. So I think there will be a lot of discourse around that as the movie releases, because for some reason, people just don't know movies are coming out until the week that they release, and then they freak out about there being a Black Captain America. So there will probably be more of that, but I'll be seeing this movie. I think this is probably going to do a bit better than I thought it would at the box office because of the Red Hulk and Harrison Ford. And like, I think now I kind of understand a little bit more why they made the decisions that they made, seeing it all kind of in front of me.
Yeah. If you had a prediction on what's going to happen, what would you say?
I mean, they're going for another
teaser trailer.
Yeah, they're going for another, political thriller type of thing. You see them talking about how they want to make Captain America a position in the military. And you hear him say, "Oh, the people in your circle are corrupt," or "There's people in your cabinet." So there's going to be some corruption of some kind, and people are going to be trying to kill Sam, and I think he's going to end up saving the government. I think it's going to be a pretty self-contained movie in terms of there's going to be an issue presented that's probably pretty new, of just like standard political corruption, which you don't need to set up politics be corrupting.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there'll be some Hydra stuff. Looks like there was maybe some Hydra stuff.
Yeah. I believe that there is a character in this that's an ex-Black Widow that's working with Red Hulk. So yeah, it just seems like they're gonna it's gonna be like one of those fast-paced kind of very yeah, like you said, very grounded storytelling with Sam, and yeah, I feel like they're gonna try to bring us back to the times of the Winter Soldier.
I think it's going to be interesting, the reaction and the box office reaction to this, because this is what people have been asking for. It's in terms of the people that actually like Marvel movies but have genuine critiques. There's some people that just won't be happy with Marvel no matter what, which is fair. I'm not going to shill for Marvel of all companies, but like there's some people that just enjoy hating on it, and that's fine. That's dope. That keep hating, wake up, be a hater, go to bed, be a hater. I think it's dope. I think you're sick. If you want to chain smoke together, let's do it. And when it comes to this movie, it's literally what they've been asking for in the critiques of like Multiverse of Madness or like Spider-Man No Way Home, where everything is like this big multiversal event. And it seems like there's no actual normal quote unquote superhero movie. This is a very normal superhero movie. This very much feels like it could have been released in 2016, 2015, like right before Civil War kind of thing. So absolutely more excited about this now than I was before.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a solid trailer.
But talking about the ones that we are not excited for, when we were going through this list, we both like made, ranked the 14 and then we averaged them out. And something we kind of figured out is that most of the stuff we're not excited about is stuff that's pretty far out, like the furthest stuff out
that we don't know a lot about.
Yeah. So there's really nothing to grasp to. However, there are some, caveats to that rule. Number 14, we'll go ahead and get it started from the bottom to the top. Number 14 is Ironheart, who we actually have seen in the MCU in Wakanda Forever, but I did not like that at all. I didn't like any of the points there, and it kind of just ended up being bloat for a movie that was fairly bloated already.
Yeah. The suit could have been a lot better. I have nothing wrong with the casting. I thought the casting was good, but yeah, I just didn't think that she had a lot to do in that movie, and it's going to take a lot to convince me that Ironheart is going to be something worth its while in the MCU.
Yeah, I think she's got to be her own character, and like you're obviously gonna have the Iron Man comparisons, and she was introduced in a movie that was released quite a while ago at this point. However, I can see this doing well. Obviously, this demographic of a young, like, Black female superhero actually doesn't really exist. I'm trying to think of one, but I don't think it really exists in this capacity. We have, some heroes like that, absolutely. However, they're not like getting their own shows. So I think that this does exist for, people not like us. So I don't want to like rag on it too much. And we also don't know what the vibe of like her would be. If it's just another like, she has to balance school and being a genius, it's just a bit boring. It's not anything.
Riri Williams, she's the first superhero that's had to struggle with not wanting to be a superhero. that's what they always use.
She's living a double life. Going to school and saving lives.
Yeah.
Oh, she has to fight a villain, but can she make it on time for chemistry class? It's overdone, obviously, because that would be the biggest conflict for a, teenager going through the concept of being a superhero. But enough time has passed. You could age her out of college, and we don't get a lot of young adult superhero projects where they're in their like 25 to 26 range, 24 maybe, or spice it up, make them 23, but just something that's a bit different than seems like there's two sides of either they're in their 30s or 40s and they're getting too old for this, or they're young and they've been doing this on the side as they try to balance their life. Those are really the only two extremes. And if they could find a niche inside of it and have its own identity, I could see it being good. Just no excitement from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But number 13, I had this one as my lowest. It averaged out. Trent brought it up. Vision Quest. I just don't find Vision in the MCU very interesting. I think his dynamic with Scarlet Witch is interesting, but that is the only interesting thing that the character of Vision has done, in my opinion. And I just don't know enough about it. I know in the comics Vision is insane. I understand that. Yeah. And if it does live up to this, I'm so for it. I know Paul Bettany could do that. It just hasn't been shown in the MCU yet.
Yeah, I had it a little bit higher up on my list at number 11, but I think that the reason for that is I personally like Paul Bettany, and that might be one of the first like actual sequels that we get to WandaVision. I guess Agatha, that we'll talk about in a little bit, is going to be the first one, but I feel like Vision is going to be I don't know. I feel like Paul Bettany carry that series if it's written well, and that's all I got to say about that, really.
I mean, that's where I'm at. If they give him enough to do, then I'm so for it. But I do just worry that I really don't even know what to worry about with it. Like, there's no way they make it as boring as I'm thinking about in my head, where it's like this introspective, what it means to be alive thing. Yeah. Like that would probably be the worst case scenario for me. Like what it means to have unlimited power and stuff. It's like, I get it. There's a big internal struggle with that. I can't relate because I'm not made of vibranium. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's, we'll see on that one. Number 12, we have Wonder Man, which honestly I am very excited for. We just don't know enough about it to get into it. But Wonder Man as a character is also, pretty insane, and has a really interesting history. If you ever wanted to go down a rabbit hole, go down the Wonder Man rabbit hole, just with all the rights and everything. It's wild stuff. I am excited for this. Just don't know enough about it to put it any higher.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then coming in after that, this one might be a shock because, it's Avengers. It's Avengers Kang Dynasty. What is this movie even? It's hard to be excited about this movie when I don't understand how it is being made in 2026. I feel like nothing has progressed in the MCU since Endgame a little bit. That's kind of how I feel. Like nothing has actually progressed.
Yeah.
Especially, like, not even a hot take. The Avengers team has just not been acknowledged since the last Avengers movie, which I don't understand why they do that when they want to have these big team ups of Avengers. Like, why don't they make the Avengers a actual entity in the MCU?
Yeah.
I don't get that. You could do something really fun with the current Avengers roster, but they like being so just keeping it close to the chest. Who is on the Avengers? Nobody knows. So don't you want to know who's an Avenger?
Yeah. I think that the problem for me is that, like you said, it has been, we've got more projects in the MCU in phase 4 in it, like more than the first 3 phases combined. And I feel like, to your point, we haven't got a mention of the Avengers, and I feel like part of that is them kind of setting the precedent of, everybody in the entire fucking universe is at this event. We gotta somehow up this, when they should have taken a step back and done like a street level Avengers story where it's like, I don't know, like trying to solve a crime, or like trying to do something within the Avengers, where it's, I guess we kind of got that in Civil War, but I feel like they could do that in a way that's like taking a step back from, Thanos and the world-ending threats to kind of figure out the team dynamic of what the Avengers are going to be going forward.
I'm fine with world-ending threats, but like you're saying, let's just leave it there. Like, fate of the Earth is at stake. We don't need the fate of the universe to be at stake to feel anything.
Yeah.
I don't need the fate of the multiverse to be at stake to feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, it's like, why we have to build these people up. And it's like, especially with like Kang Dynasty, if you have to bring back the old Avengers. You have to. Because if not, what is the purpose of this movie? You have to bring back Iron Man. You have to bring back Steve Rogers. You need to have a shot with all the OG Avengers doing the spin around thing again. You need that fanfare because you don't have anything else in terms of the Avengers property. I think a cool idea, I don't know if this is an original thought I had or I read it somewhere, would be to do canon like comics, like canon Avengers comics that show like, hey, here's what the Avengers team is doing. They give a hint to it at the end of Civil War with like Falcon and like rebuilding the Avengers team, like we'll be there, blah, blah, blah. And that doesn't really go anywhere. That's pretty much the last time the Avengers as a team has even been mentioned, unless you count like some of the Endgame stuff where they're like dealing with the aftermath of the blip and everything. I don't know. I just would like to see the Avengers be the Avengers a little bit. And even if that's in like a comic form, just seeing like Shang-Chi and Daredevil and Captain America and just those people do stuff together. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to get excited about it for that reason. That's why it's this low on the list. Sitting at number, what was that, 10? Then we got number 9, which we have Thunderbolts, which is going to include Red Hulk, which we saw and discussed earlier. The interesting thing with the Thunderbolts is just like kind of a surprise that it's being made. Before like a lot of things got sequels, we're getting Thunderbolts. It was a very like, is this super necessary? When so many things could use a 2. We could have Doctor Strange 3 right here. We could have a Scarlet Witch movie. We could have a sequel to Shang-Chi. We could have a sequel to Eternals here. But they go with Thunderbolts.
Yeah, part of being so low is I feel like just the list of characters that they have doesn't fully get me excited to wanna watch it right away. Like, I'll eventually get around to it, but the cast of characters that it has, it just seemed like Marvel was kind of like, oh, we got all these villains and these like anti-heroes kind of just like running around in the world. We should do something with them. And then I guess it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk. So it could be, it could be Dark Avengers, something like that. But yeah, for right now, it's pretty middle of the pack for these movies.
Yeah, they would need to announce something to save the box office. I think Thunderbolts is gonna be pretty rough at the box office if they don't, and I think they're not stupid. It's the same reason they, switched up I guess not really, but I think they were probably just keeping Civil War secret. But putting Civil War in the title of Captain America 3 was definitely a choice for the box office. They knew what that would do.
Yeah.
For that movie, and I expect them to do something similar with Thunderbolts, and I wouldn't be surprised if that asterisk is revealed at the end of Captain America, but we'll see. Then we have number 8, first DC project on this. Most of the DC projects, there's less of them, but they are higher on the list. This is the first one, the Creature Commandos, which is a animated series that James Gunn seems pretty passionate about.
Yeah, I actually am excited for this show. It should be, DC animated shows are typically an easy watch, and if we're going to get, some character crossovers with the live action stuff and just kind of see some of these weird, interesting characters that James Gunn comes up with, I'm excited to see it. The first official show of the DCU.
This is really where James Gunn excels, is with a bunch of no-name characters, and I'm excited to see that in animated form. And see what they cook up there. Honestly, I probably would put it a little bit higher if I knew a bit more about it, but maybe I should have just put it high, knowing that I'll probably enjoy it. But I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to enjoy the next one at number 8. It's going to be Captain America. So I think this probably would be higher if we rank these after watching the trailer. I think I'm more interested in watching it, but I don't know. It's like we said, it's very much a standard action movie. It doesn't seem to be anything hidden around the corner, which is fine. But in terms of excitement, it kind of has me. Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. You kind of know our thoughts about it, but I after seeing that trailer, I am more excited for it, and I do like Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, and I don't think that he would be so passionate about it if it was going to be a bad movie.
I would hope not. I mean, this is really, really long in the making for him, as well as just probably the people working on this project. I think it's been an idea since he was introduced. I would hazard to guess just when they were thinking about, okay, how do we move on from Chris Evans? How do we move on from Steve Rogers? I think most likely this was always the plan, is we're going to pass on the mantle, and it would make sense to pass on the mantle to Anthony Mackie. He's a great actor, and it makes sense in universe. It happened in the comics, etc., etc. So this is one of the movies that it feels like, okay, this was planned out. This should happen, and I'm glad it's happening. Another one that, might not be happening, but for that reason, I think we both scored it a bit higher at number 7 here, is Blade, in which, if you want to know our full thoughts on the entirety of the Blade saga, we do have a video of the Blade timeline and everything that has gone into that, and how convoluted and how many directors and writers have gone through this thing. It is a process.
Yeah. Mahershala Ali, have no doubt in him being a great Blade, but it's all about finding a director and having a good movie, which usually movies that are in production hell are iffy. So we'll see. But being so high up, I think that everyone has some pretty high hopes for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Blade. I think most people would be excited for Blade if it was coming out this year, but it's not. It's not coming out next year. It might not even come out the year after that. Who knows? It's a fun thing. And I did misspeak there. Blade is 6. Captain America was 7. So we are now in the top 5 here. Top 5 most anticipated superhero projects. And at number 5, we have Daredevil. It's Daredevil Born Again.
Yep. Charlie Cox is coming back. So is Vincent D'Onofrio. They've been wanting to revive Daredevil for a long time, and so this was pretty high up on my list. This was number 4 on my list because they seem really passionate about it. Marvel seems to be following their requests and wanting to kind of be loyal and be thoughtful of the series that came before it, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely are going to pander to that audience because they know what kind of weight that audience means. So there's the audience that wants to see blood and wants to see violence, and I think this is going to provide and will probably be the most, I won't say gory because it's Marvel and Daredevil wasn't necessarily gory, but just like, I guess violent in general Marvel project.
Yeah.
It's a mini series, so there's no confirmation on if there's ever going to be a season 2 or what Daredevil's future is, but I think as a character, and also you do have to factor in the production budget of something like Daredevil, and like how much it costs to produce something like Daredevil is significantly lower than other superhero projects just because there's a lot less special effects.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably going to get more Daredevil stuff. It's just in what capacity.
Well, they announced like 18 episodes, and we don't know if that was reworked or, but they said that the first season's going to have like 9 episodes. So presumably 2 seasons with 9 episodes. I could see that happening.
That tracks. And they're obviously, this is some long time coming. I think a lot of people thought Daredevil would never be in the MCU, and definitely not Charlie Cox's Daredevil. So it's pretty cool that this is happening, and that's why it's up here. And then at number 4 we have Supergirl. So Supergirl, we don't know. I mean, we know it's Supergirl. We know it's James Gunn. I don't know if he's directing this one, but he's producing.
I think he's producing it, and it's played by Millie Alcock, who played young Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon. But yeah, I think she's gonna do a great job. Again, I have faith in James Gunn and Supergirl. Love the Supergirl character. Watched most seasons of that horrible CW show, and excited to see her on the big screen.
Yeah, no, I think this is awesome. Supergirl's one of, in a weird way, maybe the most popular female superhero. I think Wonder Woman, I don't know what the numbers are on it, but like I was surprised in just like how popular Supergirl is. And part of that's just because when asked to name a female superhero, oh yeah, Supergirl, it's pretty easy, but I don't think her character's really been explored on the big screen. So this is going to expose a lot of audiences and a lot of young fans to who Supergirl even is, and not just a gender swapped Superman and completely different character. And I think that's something with the DCU that they're going to really stress is very different character. This is not just girl Superman. And I'm super excited to see how this one turns out. Just given the expectations for it, I don't want to say that they're not high because it's not like they're low, but I think there's a lot of unknown, and I think this could be like a sneaky, amazing superhero movie that flies under the radar until release.
Yeah.
And then number 3, this one's probably not flying under the radar because it feels like we've been talking about it for 10 years, despite, I think, the last reboot coming out pretty much around that time. Yeah. And that's Fantastic Four, MCU's Fantastic Four. When the MCU was really gaining steam, I think a pretty classic sentiment was, dang, if only they had the Fantastic Four. Imagine if the Fantastic Four, they'd really be making the Avengers well, man. And now they have them. It kind of seems like perfect timing because they need some recognizable heroes. And getting Mr. Fantastic on the roster, Thing, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, like those are recognizable. Yeah. And it's a much needed win for Marvel to get this movie out.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it's going to go down.
Not only that, but I think that it was really important to get the casting of the characters right, and I think that they nailed it. I think that Joseph Quinn has been doing interviews talking about Johnny Storm and talking about the Fantastic Four, and it just seems like this is shaping up to be a really great ensemble movie, and hopefully an even better superhero movie, because I love Marvel's First Family.
And I'm actually pretty high on Matt Shakman. I think he hasn't really done a movie outside of something called Cut Bank in 2014. But I think the TV shows that he's done, especially like the ones that people are going to know him from, and some of his work that I've seen in those shows, it's really, really solid. And I think a lot of people have this stigma that if it's not a big name director, then it's not going to be good or it's not worth anything. And I think my biggest concern with Marvel is just that they will a lot of times hire people that they've just worked with before because they know that they can work with them. And that's absolutely Matt Shakman, but he's not just a Marvel guy. He did do WandaVision stuff, but pretty much everything else that he does. I did episodes of Ugly Betty, Mad Men, The Good Wife, American Gothic, It's Always Sunny, Game of Thrones. Like he's been around and he's done pretty like upper end TV projects. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely excited to see what someone like that does with a project this big. Obviously there's a lot of pressure, but I mean, whoever took this was going to have a lot of pressure. So, why not Matt Shakman?
Yeah. Why not man who's single-handedly carrying Star Wars nowadays, Pedro Pascal?
That's true. It's
even though he's not even on set half the time because, he just does the voice.
Doesn't matter. And then at number 2, speaking of not on set, a movie that was filmed during the writer's strike, Deadpool and Wolverine, that's going to be coming out. Probably by the time you watch this, it may be out already. So that's why I dropped it down a little bit. But in terms of excitement, absolutely. I have to see Deadpool and Wolverine, mainly for the in Wolverine part. I'm not even a big Wolverine guy, but like just seeing Wolverine in the MCU, Deadpool in the MCU, I don't know. For me, the MCU aspect of this sells this movie.
Yeah.
I obviously would watch it if it wasn't in the MCU, but in terms of the interest I have, I think a lot of people treat that as a negative. I'm curious how it's going to work. If it's bad, it's going to be bad, but I don't think they know they're not stupid, is what I'm trying to say. Ryan Reynolds, the writing staff, Sean Levy, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They know exactly what people are going to expect of the MCU, of Deadpool in the MCU, and they are going to make jokes about that. They are going to be the same as they were before. I doubt that there was much overhead on this movie because they wouldn't have greenlit Deadpool if they didn't want a Deadpool movie.
Yeah, I agree, and everything that I've seen in the last few weeks have led me to believe that this is going to be kind of the next step in Marvel's timeline, and it's going to be kind of something that revigorates the MCU a little bit and get some hype around it. So I think that for those reasons, I put that at the top for me.
Yeah, and I didn't see too much. I think I have an idea. I'm not trying to stay away from spoilers, but I guess there was like a first 35 minutes that was like a sneak peek showing that then got leaked online or something like that. And people are pretty excited with that. And it's unexpected, bloody, outrageous. So I don't think they have to worry about the Disneyification of it all.
Yeah.
That was kind of a weird narrative that people were pushing, like, oh, he's going to be PG-13 making fart jokes. No, they know. They watch the movies too, guys. They're aware what kind of movie they're making.
Yeah, Disney's not a friggin' hall monitor, dude.
And then number one is, you could probably deduce it by now, is Superman, coming out in July 2025.
Yep.
Directed, produced, written by James Gunn. This comes from, being a fan of the projects that James Gunn has done. Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad, all the Guardian stuff. I have really, really enjoyed his take on superheroes. And I think Superman is probably the last superhero you would expect James Gunn to tackle, just given his resume. And for that intrigue of the pairing of James Gunn and the Superman title, that has it at number one for me.
Yeah, that, and I haven't seen a casting that I haven't liked yet, and the suit looks good. I believe in James Gunn. I believe the story is going to be good. I'm excited for a new, fresh DC. I remember sitting down watching The Batman with Robert Pattinson, and there's that scene where he's like saving all of that group of people and leading them out of the water, and I was just like, it's like, this is what superhero movies need to be. They need to give you hope. They need to make you believe that something that isn't possible is possible, and I feel like this movie is going to do all of that.
I could see this going into the almost Paddington realms of like human goodness, because James Gunn does understand the meaning of Superman is like kind of like Paddington.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the meaning of Superman, and I'm really excited to see that take on it. Like so excited.
Yeah.
Because Superman has taken itself so seriously for so long, and I'm not saying that this is going to be unserious or that I don't like when movies get serious. I'm not a child. I just get bored seeing someone that is invincible be sad about stuff. I don't know. Life's hard, guy. Go fly around the globe a couple times and feel better.
Yeah.
I want to see a Superman abuse drugs, get high. Okay, probably not. That's probably not what's going to happen, but I want to see Superman live his life to the fullest.
I was going to say, Zack Snyder's not directing these movies anymore, so I don't know if that's
I want to see him go to a prison. No. That's going to do it for our list. So 1 through 14, that's all the MCU and DCU projects coming out in 2024, 2025, and 2026. So let us know in the comments below which one you're most excited for, which part you disagree with me the most on, and how much you hate my guts. Any of those, or anything at all. Like we always say, comment anything at all. Even if it's racist, it's all engagement.
Yeah, we won't like it, but thank you for the engagement.
We won't like it. We'll stare at it and be like, you're a bad person. But we're not going to delete it because that's engagement.
Yeah.
And I encourage you,
real hard about deleting it. But
if you see racism in our comments, please go and engage with that person, because that's engagement.
Yeah. Tell them, fuck you. You don't belong here.
Yes. Yeah, be racist to them.
Yeah.
And then it's this engagement farm of people being racist to each other and people trying to tell them to stop being racist. And that's how you hit it big.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for listening.
Yeah. Go take us out, Trent.
Thank you everybody for listening to our list and our breakdown of the Captain America 4 trailer. Please leave a comment, please like, and I hope to see you soon for a August movie preview.
Peace.